and they claim that the language is plain and simple. It's not as plain and simple as they say that it is, because that part of the law was left up to interpretation by Department of Labor. So now they have to read this law and try to figure out, how do we implement this based on how we interpret it the way it's written, instead of the lawmakers just coming out and saying, or going to them and saying, listen, it's just plain and simple. Give the people the money. We don't care how you have to do it. Just give them the money. You don't have to put restrictions on people. So here's the thing. So here's the example. So let's say you're a gig worker, right? And that's a part-time job, right? And then let's say that some gig workers, which is true, are full-time workers. So that's their only source of income. Now, I've seen that word in my state. I'm from the state of Pennsylvania. I've seen that wording in my state's website already, where they say, if that is your primary source of income. Okay. So now let's say that you're a part-time worker, right? Let's say whatever your circumstance, let's say you might be retired from another job, or you might be just in a position financially that you don't need to work full time. Why would you be penalized because you're a part-time worker? I've never understood why part-time workers always get the short end, but it's like, that's the way it is. So my point is that I'm concerned for a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is that the states seem to me, and maybe I'm just on the wrong track here, but they just seem to me that they're just dragging their feet. And then miraculously, yesterday, on the 16th of April, President Trump comes out and goes, well, I want to open the economy up right away. I want to open the economy up as soon as possible. And I set a target date of May 1st. And I'm going, well, but the damn bill was passed in March. And we're talking about May would, I mean, if you go all the way up to the end of May, that would be 2 whole months since the bill was passed. And you're talking about opening up the economy. And what's concerning about that is, even if you were to qualify for unemployment, you're going to get like, what, maybe a couple of weeks, if you even get it. And then the restrictions and the qualifications, and maybe you might get it and maybe you won't get it, is becoming a concern, because, you know, some people need to eat and pay their, everybody needs to eat and pay their bills. And it's just absurd that you have to sit there and wait because people can't get the act together. But I'm just wondering why these politicians, and by the way, speaking of politicians, I reached out to my U.S. congressman, and I don't want to blast the name on here just to embarrass anybody, because that's not what my point is. But I reached out to my U.S. congressman, and I reached out to my state representative, and I got generic response emails from both of them saying, well, due to the sheer volume of emails, it will be quite a while before I may be able to respond to you, but yet you send me back a response. But then people say, oh, that's because that's an automatic generated response that everybody sends out. So whoop-de-doo. So you responded and said, we received your message. That's great, but what good is a message if it's not read, right? So you can receive it all day, but if you don't read it, what good is it going to do anybody? And then they say, well, if you consider it an emergency, call the office. But you can't get through because there's nobody at the office, because the office is closed due to coronavirus. So now you're stuck in the middle of limbo trying to figure out what the hell to do. And it's just really frustrating and annoying. And the only saving grace for myself, and I'm just lucky amongst maybe some of our other lucky people that are out there doing rideshare. And if you're one of those lucky ones, I would like you to comment below in my video and just let me know what your circumstances, without getting into all your business. That's not what I'm into, but just let me know if you just happen to be in a good position or a bad position, or what's your position. But what I wanted to find out is what's the consensus, because it seems to me that there's something amiss here. And I'm not trying to make this a long video. I had only planned to make it about 8 or 9 minutes. I'm already at 12. So I'm going to try to just snip it, but it's just annoying with all the nonsense that's going on in the meantime. So I would like for some of you guys out there that respond to my video, I would like you to just comment and just let me know what's your circumstance, what's going on.